Good morning, everybody. How's it going? Aaron here, checking in. It is April 25th. This is day 4 of Superman Split. It is 5 days post-show. Still feeling really good. Still seem to look better than I did on the weekend. Of course, that might not be true. It might all just be the body dysmorphia kicking in, especially after a show. It's a big problem, big issue with a lot of fitness competitors, fitness athletes, is they beat themselves up before and after the show about body composition and how they look. I'm not beating myself up about it. I'm just like, oh, okay, well, I feel like I still look great, and I'm just going to continue to improve on that, right? If I want to go pro within the next 5 years, I got to keep putting the work in. So that's what I'm doing. The idea is I'm going to look better every week and every week and every week. Still in maintenance diet right now. I am up to just over 2,000 calories. It was about 2,400 yesterday. Feel great. So I'm technically still in a deficit, and right now the weight is still hanging around that 195 mark. So still pretty pleased with that. Now almost done the first week, and then I'll have 5 more to go of maintenance, and I'm probably going back into a fat loss phase again. I'll probably do another 6-week fat loss, another mini cut, but we'll see how it goes. See how the rest of this Superman split goes, because holy hell. All right, as I said, day 4, Superman split. Sorry, I gotta kind of get into this too. Well, my hamstrings are still sore, and you know how I feel about that. If you are supposed to train a muscle and it's sore, don't train it. So that is where I'm at right now. My hamstrings are just, and I blame the good mornings, and they are sore in the best possible way. I do leg curls all the time, and very rarely do I ever feel like this, especially within a couple days. Now, I only trained legs 2 days ago, so this is kind of the weird part about this split, but it's not training them hard. But I only did 2 sets of good mornings, and again, my legs just are ridiculously sore in the best way, but pretty much just the hamstring. So the other thing on the docket today for legs is leg press, which is good. I haven't done leg press in months. I was doing hack squat, which I think contributed to hurting my ankle, because a big part of being able to hack squat properly and get the best out of it is good ankle mobility, and I don't have the best ankle mobility. I have rolled both ankles really bad, to the point I was in a cast with one for months and months. It was just really bad. So, you know, I have to be careful when I do movements like that. So still pretty sore there, but now, you know, going back to doing a leg press is actually pretty exciting, because again, I'm not there to use 500 pounds. I can, but I don't need to. You know, I'll probably be good with 180 or 270, like, if that's all I'm gonna need, just enough to get some great stimulus. I'm only doing 2 fucking sets. I'm gonna do a warm-up set, and then I will be doing 2 working sets, and that goes for my hamstrings as well. So today was supposed to be leg curl and leg press. I honestly don't know if I'm going to be able to do the leg curl. We're going to see. I'm going to get in. I'm going to do it. It's a seated one, which I feel when I do it, it targets the hamstring up closer towards the knee. Hamstring is a weird muscle, but right now, all the pain, which, you know what, it might actually be my glute medial that is sore and not my hamstring, so I will find out. All that pain is actually up at the top of my hamstring. I hadn't really thought of that until now. So there's a good chance that that's what it is. So once I get in that machine, I'll find out. On top of doing those 2 exercises today, I have arms again. So arms are twice a week, which normally would be great, except my arms feel like they're gonna fucking fall off their body too. I feel like Mr. Potato Head today, like everything's just gonna fall off. This is only week 1. I did 50 assisted pull-ups yesterday. Assisted just with a band. So for me, a huge accomplishment. I mean, I guess no matter how you look at it, 50 is fucking 50. The band probably reduces the weight by 20%. I wouldn't say it's 50. 20, maybe 30%. So, so it would have made me, we'll say, like 140 pounds. So taking 60 pounds off, give or take. I have no idea. I'm just throwing some fucking numbers out there. So my elbow joints are really sore. My biceps and triceps are sore. Triceps are sore because I did medium grip push-ups yesterday, or bench press. But it is good. So today is supposed to be cable curls and cable pushdowns. I've literally got 4 exercises today. That's it. It is 20 after 6. As you can see, it's light out. Full moon is out. Looking pretty awesome today. Again, still nobody really on the road because it's still 6 o'clock in the morning, right? But I'm used to being on the road at 5:30. So I've been sleeping in, which has been fantastic. It's getting back to a regular routine. And a big part of that, I have not been doing cardio the last few days. I'm trying to recover from all of the cardio that I was doing, which still wasn't enough to get me where I wanted to be, and that is okay. Because I'm just going to step up the cardio game in a couple weeks here. In the meantime, I'm enjoying lifting. I'm enjoying eating food again, even though I'm not going crazy, and working from there. So I talked to one of my clients last night who he's been following basically the same cycles as me. He's doing a different periodization, specialization period this mesocycle, but we were still going through fat loss cycle together, and we're in maintenance now together, so it was pretty good. So I was talking to him last night, and as I'm talking to him, I break things down in my head for myself as well, and came to the realization, hey, you know what, like technically I'm still in a deficit, so I'm still in a fat loss, but I'm in a comfortable fat loss. I'm not starving right now, and I am eating enough to, repair the muscles and the connective tissue on my body, and potentially continue to grow while still losing a bit of fat. So it was very interesting because that's what we got to think about. All right, well, I'm done this fat loss, I'm going in, and maintenance is, even though we can calculate maintenance, take your body weight, multiply it by 15, it doesn't always work that way, right? There is some leeway, there's plus or minus. And it's going to be a good 2 weeks before you even really truly find out, pardon me, if you're at maintenance or if you're still in a deficit or a surplus, right? It's all going to depend after that 2 weeks if the needle is moving either way. Now, plus or minus 5 pounds makes sense, right? A lot of that's going to be water weight. So it's just kind of playing it by ear. But what I said to him was, if you're working out and you're eating and you feel good and you're not hungry and you're not tired, then it's sustainable, because that's the idea with the fat loss. It's not sustainable. You can't just keep being in a fat loss. I mean, I guess essentially you can, but systemically you're just not going to be able to handle it. That's just how it goes. Just like being in amassing the entire time, like, you know, eventually you just start putting fat on, right? I think I covered that in yesterday's video. So we'll see what happens. We're going to keep going. I'm still being very cognitive of what I'm eating. Not going crazy this week. And I'm going to kind of narrow it down to each week. You know, I'm going to have the odd like treat thing. So just something that I normally wouldn't have, you know, definitely in a fat loss or just all the time. So right now it's oatmeal cookies. Oatmeal chocolate chip cookies, the farmer market ones. And that is, I'm having 2 a day. That's it. That's like 200 calories. Loaded with carbs, but they're also loaded with sugar, with refined sugar, right? So I'm kind of watching that, and next week will probably be chocolate covered almonds, because I love them both, right? So I'm not going to cut them completely out. I'm going to make them available as part of my diet, but I have to work them in as part of the diet. Just like the other thing right now is muffins. I absolutely love muffins. It's not up until this past year that I realized how much I fucking love muffins. And banana chocolate chunk ones are just, they're my jam. And again, 200 calories for a muffin, right? So, I mean, between 2 cookies and a muffin, you're up to, it's actually closer to 500 calories, 200 plus calories for everything. And a week ago, that was half of my caloric intake. So if you can imagine doing that, and then, okay, now you got to eat chicken breast. And then that's it, you know. So being very careful with what I'm eating while still allowing myself to enjoy things is exactly what I am going to do. And even when I get into a mass phase, which I'm still quite a few months away from that. We're talking like October, November. If I go into one, I'm not even sure, which is still a ways out. And I do want to go into one, but it all depends on if I'm doing the October show. I got to plan around that. It's 26 weeks out. So how can I do that? If I got to be in maintenance for the next little bit, that means I can go into what, a 4-week mass? It's not even really worth it at that point, right? So I guess it would be a 6-week mass, but still not quite worth it. We'll see how everything goes, but right now it's all focusing on Superman Split, focusing on maintenance. It's going to start getting nicer here in southwestern Ontario. It was -5 when I left my house. It's going to be 11 this afternoon. Next week's supposed to be 20 degrees, so I'm going to be able to get out, do some more walking. The wife and I are picking up an elliptical from one of her coworkers, so, you know, getting some extra cardio in shouldn't be a problem. Like, it's just going to be, all right, you know, I'm going to do 20 minutes on the elliptical, and if I do that every day, then I can get my cardio in. Otherwise, today I think is going to be stair climber again. We'll see, because I am sore, and there's a good chance that is another reason why my legs are so sore from Tuesday. Otherwise, it might be treadmill. It all depends on how quick I get through these exercises, because with only doing 4, I finish them, especially when they're 2 sets each, and I'm like, okay, now what? Because I'm so used to doing like 5 sets. And this is something I explained to my client last night, because he wants to do a specialization. He wants to bring up his arms. All right, cool. Well, you got to pull back on everything else. And it was, you know, he sent me all his workouts for the week, and he hasn't been doing that. So I gave him shit for it, politely, of course. But that's it. If you want to do this, you can't do all of that. Your body can't handle it. So it's been an interesting week already because it's stuff that I'm not used to doing, right? Again, when you're used to doing X amount of sets and working really hard, and now you're down to, 3 sets or 2 sets, and all of a sudden you're done earlier in the gym. Hell, I'm getting to the gym later and I'm leaving earlier, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Yesterday made for a really long day at work, but that's a story for another video. All right, guys. Well, you know the drill. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Hang with me because, like I said, as of next week, I'm going to start putting some of these workouts up on the page so you guys will actually see and experience what I'm going through. I'll be able to explain it as we go as well. I'm going to try and set up some times where I can go in and record unabated. Like I said, it's not that we don't allow tripods and stuff in the gym. We just kind of frown upon it. But I kind of got some special circumstances there, and I'm kind of allowed to do that stuff. So we'll see. As long as I'm not in anybody's way, and I'll be filming kind of a set. I probably won't film the whole workout. Fuck, I might. Who knows? And break it down. Anyway, all right. You guys know the drill. Own your lives and get after it. Cheers.